just because of Manhattan and my times in Manhattan and Vermont, the weekends in Vermont. And so in my times, I've seen the highs and the lows. And as they both, in different ways, struggled to find where they were going and what they were doing. And so I'm very proud to say right now that I think they're both in the best place I've seen them. So Nicole's a little bit more quiet about where he's going to answer your questions. I ask Matt questions all the time. But Nicole's a little bit more quiet about work than Matt. But I know personally that Nicole's got a nice move coming to California. It's a great opportunity for her, a nice little promotion, and things fit together very nicely. As a proud father, Matthew came to Florida about 14 or 15 months ago, and he started working in executive search about a year ago. He's worked in executive search for a long time, so he's either worked in internet advertising or executive search, and he's kind of under those two things in the present job that he has right now, which he's going to move to California. And so just to let you know from the proud father, Matthew works in an office of 30 people, and Matthew accounted for 20% of the revenue of the office this year. Wow. He did a home run. So the only thing I ever asked him was why it wasn't 25%. One of his best friends from high school.
Yeah, okay, John.
So I'll have some more to say about John. So one of his best friends from high school who can't be here tonight, who really wanted to be here tonight. So I wrote some people some notes and said, hey, do you want to say anything? And this guy's name is James Kernan.
He'll be here tomorrow. He'll be here
So
tomorrow.
I knew Kieran and he was going to be a winner. He was actually intoxicated in the basement. But I knew Kieran was going to be a winner because when you work in New York City, which I did for a long time, and you commute, you get on the train at different times. And so the strange thing happens when people become fairly established in their roles in their individual organizations. They catch earlier and earlier trains, and so one of our good friends is going to be at the wedding tomorrow. Vinny Russo and I caught the 5:25 train every morning. And so at 5:25, there are not many people on the platform, but we wanted to be in the office by 6:30. And James caught the train with us. And he didn't dress quite the same back then, but he had this little car that he had bought, some kind of Chevy, and he'd park it way in the corner of the parking lot so nobody could bump into it. And he'd come in and he'd say, good morning, Mr. Vahle, good morning, Mr. Russo, and he'd go to the end of the platform. And Vinny and I used to say to each other, the kid's going to make it. James is the vice president of business
of agency development
of
for
agency
Twitter.
development for
Twitter.
wow. So James has a very big job and is doing very well in life. So James wrote me a note and said, hey Greg, because of the IPO, I can't be here. But he's going to be at the wedding tomorrow. And he wrote Matt this note. So the note goes like this. I'll read it the best I can. Matt and I have been friends since the 6th grade. And while what I'd like to say that we've changed a lot over the years, a lot has remained really the same. When we get together, we crack jokes, talk sports, and reminisce about the legendary parties Matt threw back in the day when the folks were away. Sorry, Peg and Greg. So when we built the house in New York, we kind of designed it so Matt would have a place where the kids could come into the house without anybody knowing, and there was things for the kids to do at that level. And they could work out, or they could use the jacuzzi, or they could use the bar, the big screen television. And I'm glad that Matt caught on to that. So obviously, Matt, or Vahle as I would call him, is known for his infectious energy and exuberant personality. He sort of comes at you like a hurricane, and once you meet him, he's pretty hard to get down. Case in point, at the conclusion of our freshman year, Matt had a 3.8 at the conclusion of his freshman year in college, and he made a 2.4 the next year. Freshman year in college. On his drive back from Tampa, he stepped by, Chris knows these stories, he stepped by the University of Delaware, where James went to school. When I say he stopped by, I mean he stayed for a full week and made a name for himself. It can be difficult to bring together hometown and college friends, but Vahle's personality and unique antics instantly won him everyone in my area. During that week, together we dominated the fraternity party scene. That sounds like tried to get out one jackass after another, and had some odd reason, I think Vahle, who even attended class with me one day.
I did. Stole finals for people too.
To this day, 20 years later, I still have old friends from the University of Delaware who say, how's Vahle? And on his last night on campus, he went out with a bang, and I still possess the video footage to prove it. Thankfully, it occurred before YouTube. If you want the full story, see me at the wedding. While Matt is no doubt hilarious, he is also one of the most loyal, sensitive, and supportive friends I've ever had. I also know that he deeply loves Nicole, and that he will show her the love and support that she deserves. I'm so happy that both of you look forward to sharing many more memories with you. Congrats, and thanks for allowing me to be part of this special day. James.